All right, I found a couple of the parts we needed, and we should be in pretty good shape to go ahead and get this Martin Junior clean. You know, there's an argument on whether or not you should clean old keys or leave them as found. And my personal theory is if it washes off, it's dirt. We don't want to scrub anything. We don't want to use any real abrasives. We don't want to use any strong chemicals. We just want to wipe it down and get the dirt and grime off of it. If that dirt and grime piles up, it's just going to build up, and the key will continue to rust. And this key is a 1922, and so what's that, 103 years old at this time? So 103-year-old key. I'd really like this to last for another 103 years at least. So let's clean it up. Let's knock the rust off. Let's wipe the dirt off, and get this thing ready for another lifetime of service. All right, let's take this wire off, and we can go ahead and start right there. Okay, and then this was the temporary trunnion screw. It's not really a trunnion screw, it's a stop screw, but some of the older stop screws actually had a little hole in them, so you could use it in a pinch like we did as a trunnion screw. So the lock washer is going to stay the same, but we actually found, where's my parts bag? I found a few parts that I had squirreled away, and one of them was a trunnion screw. So that will be the new trunnion screw. I'll put these away. So we can go ahead and take the two stops completely out. Just loosen. This contact actually comes all the way out because the contact is smaller than the screw hole. The modern contacts won't fit through there. So, I wish that's something we could return to. Take the weights off. Okay, and where do we want to go? Oops. Oops. I've said oops one too many times. Take off the dot contact. Okay, now I don't want to give the frame too hard of a time, so let's put that on something soft. What do we have on the underside here? We have contacts, feet. These screws are pretty rusty looking. I am going to get the big screwdriver and just break these free. Yep, very rusty screws. So that should be the main frame. Damper assembly. Let's go ahead and get this contact post off of here. So we have a plastic and a metal washer. That plastic washer is pretty snug on there. Obviously, when we reassemble, we'll do everything by hand. We definitely don't want to use power tools to reassemble this. Okay, so we've got a plastic washer, which means we're probably going to have a little paper or plastic cylinder right here. That might actually be Bakelite. The other day, I couldn't remember the name Bakelite, and so I asked, hey, if anyone can remember the name I can't think of, let me know in the comments. And one of our watchers, Garrett, said, hey, I think that's Bakelite, and I think that's exactly what I couldn't remember. Where did I actually put the contact post? It rolled right there. Okay, so there's the DIT contact assembly. Now on the DA side, we also have the contact for the circuit closer. There we go. So we have a plastic washer and a plastic washer on the underside and another one of these insulators. I like to, partially put these back together just so that all the little bits and pieces don't get away from me. All right, let's take the contact post off. I don't think contact post is the word I was looking for there. This looks like it's been replaced at some point. We noticed it was a little taller. It's definitely a different screw head type, but who knows? It could be original. As with so many other things, Vibroplex, there's an exception to every rule. All right, so we have contact strip and insulator, contact strip and insulator, another plastic washer, another insulator there. Let's put this kind of back together. Oh, that's gonna run and hide. It went far. Okay, I found it. I got lucky. I didn't have to crawl around on my hands and knees for a long time to find that. One more contact point. That's I'm not sure quite what's snugging that in there. Maybe it's just the way it bites into the plastic washer. Yeah. There we go. Oh, that one doesn't have an insulator because that's the post that goes through the ground. I'm just going to put that on a couple of turns. There we go. And then that just leaves the feet and the circuit closer. So for the circuit closer, we undo this nut from the bottom. And then from the top, we can unscrew it from the frame. Oof, that's on there. That is on there. What do I have for a better screwdriver for that? Nope, that one's not doing any better. Being real careful not to scratch the Japanning on here. This one has been replaced before, so that's ready to come off. These other two we're going to have to try a little bit harder on. I think what we might need to do is kind of break the feet off and then turn the screw out with the pliers, and then we'll replace it. I've got new feet, I've got new screws. So we shall see. I'm going to work on that for a minute. Okay, I got them out. I forgot to restart the camera. My apologies, but I actually took a bigger screwdriver and I pushed it down through the feet, which you can see are crumbling apart, and got a good bite on those screws. And they're off. Okay, so that just leaves us with the base. I'm going to put the big screwdriver away. We won't be needing that again. And you can actually see, now that I've got it apart, you can see where this used to have some gold striping on top of the Japanning. It's actually got all four corner marks are still in pretty good shape. Most of the straight lines here the long way have worn off, but you can still see them on the, across the width of it pretty well. So I am going to give this a very gentle cleaning. I definitely don't want to knock any more of the Japanning off. You can probably see it's chipped on some of the corners, it's chipped on some of the other spots. So I'm going to just be really, really gentle with this, way more gentle than I would normally be. And we'll bring it right back. Okay, and we're back. Let me put a piece of paper towel down here. And you can see what just an amazing difference that makes. All I did was got really gentle and just wiped the dirt off of this with a very, very soft toothbrush, and I used a really mild soap. And yeah, very amazing difference. That's basically a brand new base now. You know, still got a little bit of corrosion on the nameplate. Still missing some of the some of the gold lines. Still got some of the chips in it, but it looks way better. And without that dirt on it, you know, it's gonna fare a lot better also. Let's see. The next couple of things that I want to get to are going to be the lever arm and pendulum, the mainframe, and the damper assembly. So we'll take those and we'll be right back. Okay, we've got the lever arm, the mainframe, and the damper assembly. And I tell you what, it takes just a wee bit of effort to knock 103 years of dirt off of a piece of metal. Next, let's go ahead and take the contact posts and the contact strips and the heads of those. Okay, we'll be right back with these pieces. Okay, we are once again in the home stretch. What do we got left? Screws, circuit closer, stops and adjustments. Let's go ahead and take those and get those cleaned up. All right, here is hardware. And what do we have left? Just a quick clean on these weights, and I think we're in good shape. Well, let's get this too. This was a used part. Okay, that should be the last of it. Now, let me go ahead and put the trunnion screw over here so I don't lose it. All right. All right. I think my battery might be dying on the camera. Let me just check that out. Okay, yeah, my camera battery was down to 4%, but I got it wired up. Let me just adjust the position here. All right, let's start getting some things back together. For starters, we can put the mainframe on. And that was going to be these two big screws. And I don't ever really over tighten anything. That's why I just use the little baby screwdriver just to put things on there. And then sometimes these have a little motion in them. That looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and get the circuit closer on there so that we just start from the top. And then that's going to be too tight. That feels pretty good. And then we just put this nut on the bottom. And we'll just give that a little snug. Nice. All right, let's go ahead and get the tamper assembly on, and that's going to be these two smaller screws. Did I get it on straight? Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay, next, let's go ahead and start getting the electrical contacts on. So we can start with, oops. How many times am I going to say oops? Probably a few. Okay, so let's get on the bottom of this. And we know that we've got, that needs to go to there. And it's got an insulator. So first we're going to go through that. And then we're going to go through a plastic washer. Okay, and we know we've got an insulator right there. It has swelled up a little bit on us. Well, gee, I'm gonna have to work on that for a second. Let's see. Okay. And then we had another plastic washer on top, followed by the circuit closer lip, followed by the contact post. And that's good enough for now because, we have to get all these circuit assemblies lined up. But next one is going to be this one here. And we know we've got another contact strip and another insulator. So let's start getting this put together. Okay, so first we have our 2 contact strips, and then insulators, and then plastic washer. And let's thread that through a little bit. And then we have this insulator, which did not swell up. Thank you. And then on top of that is going to be a plastic washer, followed by a metal washer. Oh, I got that upside down, followed by the contact post. I went to the wrong side. Ha ha ha, shame on me. Let's put that back in the right place, please. Oh, that's too funny. So on the full-size Vibroplexes, things generally go this way, then that way. But on the juniors, they go the other way. So what I mean to say is that the talking and turning at the same time, struggling. So this is the correct direction. It's going to go like that, but the post just goes over on this side of it. Normally, the post is the connecting point. I think I explained that well. Probably not. So this is actually going to be this one. Let's put that and that and that and that. And there's no way this is going to work, but I'm going to try and thread the other screw right in where this came out. Like I say, no way that's going to work. I'm not that lucky, but we're going to try, because once in a blue moon, something goes the way you want it. I don't want to jinx it, but so far so good. It actually went through. That's just amazing. Okay, and then on this one, we have that, and then we have that. And again, we don't want anything too tight. So on this side, we're going to have an insulator. There we go. Now plastic washer. Very good. Okay, and then on the top side, we have another plastic washer, followed by the metal washer. followed by the contact post. All right, now we can actually start snugging some of these down. So that's good. And that's good. And that's good. Cool. And then that's going to get one of those. And they're so clean, I didn't recognize them. Those are our contacts. Nice. That can just be right there. That can be right there. And then on this side, that just goes straight through. And we can snug that because nothing depends on it. That's starting to look a little bit more like a key, isn't it? Okay, so let's put that in. And we already have the bottom trunnion where we want it, but we now have a trunnion screw that should work on the top. Oh, that's not in the best shape in the world, is it? This has seen better days, but it should do the trick. I think this was originally a lower trunnion screw, and I think somebody had tried to tighten it or loosen it maybe multiple times without actually releasing the little screw that locks the lower trunnion screw in place. So it's got some thread damage, but I think in the upper position, it's actually going to do just fine. That needs to loosen up just a hair. And then I'm going to tighten the lock screw. Yeah, that's got a nice movement to it. So you can see it coming down through there. The lower trunnion screws coming up through there. That's cool. All right, let's go ahead and do the spring next. What I like to do is just pick this up and actually put the tip of that spring into the hole that that's going to come out of. And if we get lucky, yep, it just catches on it. That feels pretty good. Now we have our stops. So let's start with the non-contact side. And we'll just move it so that it comes up off the damper. And then back it off until it just barely touches the damper. Nice. And then for this one, we'll bring it all the way. Well, little bit of a mishap. Remember a few minutes ago when I was talking about my battery being a little low, so I plugged it in. Yeah, it didn't charge fast enough, so the battery died. And I went back and checked, where did it cut off? And I was just adjusting these screws. So let's talk about the rest of it. We first adjusted the stop so that this was just barely resting on the damper, and then we adjusted this one so it had just a little motion to it. We brought in both of the contacts to where we think we want them to be, and then finally we put some feet on the bottom. And I use these little feet. I want to just try these out. I don't think they're going to work because this screw sticks out almost just as far as the feet do, so I'm probably going to change those out for larger feet. But I wanted to try the small ones. Just because I've got them here and I had an idea they'd be better. They've got a pretty good bite to them. You can see I'm actually putting quite a bit of a heavy hand on this, and it's not moving even a little bit. So that's cool. But yeah, last thing here. Sorry y'all missed about 5 minutes or so of me tightening things and adjusting things and putting those feet on. But let's see if this beauty will make some noise. Getting the rig fired up here, and I'm going to get another microphone turned on so that you can hear the rig pretty good. There it is. And then let's go ahead and attach a little wire here. And let's bring over my table key. Make sure I'm not transmitting. I'm not transmitting. Fantastic. That's working. Well, the circuit closer works. Nice. All right. That's got a good contact to it. No scratchiness. Wow, that's not bad considering I eyeballed it. Let's see if we can get that just a touch closer. Five, 5, 5. Let's see what it sounds like with a pendulum extension on there. Slow that down a bit. Yeah, that's nice. Okay, yeah, we need to put the larger feet on here. Let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to unplug it so I don't make a bunch of noise here and get something to rest this on. That's a shame those smaller feet didn't work. I did have high hopes for them. Let's see. I've got 3 sizes of feet here. I've got small, medium, and large. Is that one taller? Yes, it is. Is it taller than that? No, it's still not. Wow, that really sticks up there. Definitely an aftermarket screw. Remember earlier we were talking about, gee, is that factory? Is that an exception of the rule? That's almost certainly aftermarket. Let's pop open some larger feet. Okay, these are definitely taller, but are they too big? So that'll fit there, and that'll fit there. Okay, on the back side, it's going to stick out just past the edge. I feel like I'm going to be okay with that. Let's actually attach this and see how that works out. Foot 1, foot 2, foot 3. Anybody who's looking at those screws that came in the boxes of the feet, we are definitely not using those. These are the machine screws that came off of a different vintage Vibroplex. The ones that came off of this were pretty badly damaged, and I did not want to try and reuse them. This is going to take just a little bit of effort. Let me get some space on the table so I can apply the proper force here. There we go. One more. I'm having a hard time getting a grip on this last one. It's really being stubborn with me. Oh, that's funny. Okay. All right, let's see how that feels going through there. Let's start with the corner we're not sure about, since if this one works, we know the other two will work. It's just sticking over the edge. So that's not my favorite thing in the world. It'll probably bother me, but if it doesn't slide around the desk while we're on the air, I think I can live with it. These are not the feet that I typically use. These are new. The ones that I like are, I don't know if they're out of production or if they're just out of stock right now, but I went to order some feet and couldn't find any. So I did some looking around. I did a little more research, and I said, I want to try these. So I ordered 3 sizes, and I figured on most bugs I could probably use those smaller feet, get a good bite off of them, but not on this one. Okay. Yeah, I'm being really heavy-handed, and that's not moving even a little bit. Let's clean up a little bit. Let's put that over there. Let's put these 3 small feet in the small feet bag. We don't need that. This can go over here. That can go back the way we wanted it in the first place. I'm going to open that up just a little bit. Oh, that wasn't even tight. That was too much. I think that'll work. I made a couple of keying errors in there, but nothing egregious, nothing that would bring a conversation to a halt. think getting used to the key a little bit more would probably get me the rest of the way there, but that's pretty cool. So what did we do overall? 1922 Vibroplex Martin Junior. First time we got it, we just made basic adjustments and cleaned the contacts and put a couple of temporary parts in place. This time we replaced the upper trunnion screw with a used one because this key didn't come with that, and we used the stop nut from a parts bug, and everything else on here was original. So the contacts, the stops, the weights. This weight screw isn't a Vibroplex original, but yeah, I've seen plenty like that in the field, and it's certainly getting the job done. Today we cleaned it. We took everything apart. We got the dirt and grime off of it. We knocked some of the rust off where we could, and overall this bug is looking great, feeling great, and sounding great. So yeah, I'm gonna go merge this in with the earlier part of the video, and I really hope that we can do more cool keys like this in the near future. And until then, thank you, folks. 7-3.